Hello everyone. Today we are going to see about medial compartment of thigh. Medial compartment of thigh is also called adductor compartment. Adductor compartment have 6 muscles that are Pectineus Muscle, Adductor Brevis, Adductor Longus, Adductor Magnus, Obturator Externus and then Gracilis Muscle. Okay. In this video, we are going to see about this muscles origin under insertion and also nerve supply. Okay. This is the iliac crest. Iliac crest anteriorly end as anterior superior iliac spine, and this is anterior inferior iliac spine, and this cup-shaped structure is acetabulum. This acetabulum articulates with the head of femur to form the hip joint. Okay, and femur has neck. It has 2 ends. Neck has 2 ends. One is the upper end and the lower end. Upper end is concave and the lower end is oblique straight line. Okay, and this is the shaft of femur. Shaft of femur has upper end, middle and the lower end. Okay, upper end has 2 trochanters. One is the greater trochanter, this is the greater trochanter, and the other is lesser trochanter. Okay, in the anterior view, this greater and lesser trochanters are joined by the intertrochanteric line. Okay, and in the posterior view, this greater and lesser trochanter are joined by intertrochanteric crest. Okay, and this is the shaft. And this is the lower end of shaft. Okay, this lower end has condyles that are facing backwards, and this lower end articulates with the tibia, upper end of tibia. Okay, upper end of tibia, and this lateral side, upper end of tibia, has articulate with the fibula bone. Okay, tibia is in the medial side and fibula is in the lateral side. And this is the arcuate line, and this is pectineal line. Okay, pectine pubis, pectineal line. Okay, and this is pubic body. Here we have pubic symphysis, and this is the superior ramus, inferior ramus. Superior ramus is also called iliopubic ramus, ilium bone, and this is the pubic bone. So we call that as iliopubic ramus, and this is the inferior ramus, also called ischiopubic ramus, because here we have ischium bone, ischium, and this is the pubic bone, so we called it as ischiopubic ramus. Okay, this is the anterior view, and this is the posterior view of femur bone. Anterior and posterior view are differentiated by this intercondylar fossa and then linea aspera. Okay, this is the line called pectineal line. This is extending from the lesser trochanter. Okay, and this is the linea aspera. It has 2 lips. One is the lateral lip and the other is, this is the medial lip and this is the lateral lip. Okay, and this line is spiral line. It is extending from this intertrochanteric line, in the posterior aspect, called spiral line. Okay, this spiral line continues as medial lip of linea aspera, and this medial lip of linea aspera continued as medial supracondylar line. And here we have gluteal tuberosity. This lateral margin of gluteal tuberosity acts as lateral lip of linea aspera. Okay, this continuous lateral lip of linea aspera, and this lateral lip of linea aspera continuous lateral supracondylar line. Why we call it a supracondylar? Because these lines are present above this, that is superior to this condyle, so we call it as supracondylar. When it is placed laterally, it is called lateral supracondylar line. When it is placed medially, it is called as a medial supracondylar line. Okay, that's all about this. And first we are going to see about pectineus muscle. Okay, pectineus muscle originate from the pectineal line. Pectineal line, that is a pectine pubis here. Pectineal line, pectine pubis. Okay, here and inserted in the posterior aspect. Okay, posterior aspect here pectineal line. It originates from the pectine pubis, pectineal line here, and inserted in the pectineal line of femur. Okay, this pectineal line extending from the lesser trochanter. Okay, and next muscle is the adductor longus muscle. This adductor longus muscle get its origin from this external surface of body of pubis. Okay, this is the external surface of body of pubis. When you see it in the anterior view, when you see it in the back, you can see the internal surface. Okay, this is the external surface. So adductor longus muscle get its origin from the external surface of body of pubis, just inferior to the pubic crest. Okay, here you can see the pubic crest, just inferior to pubic crest and just lateral to the pubic symphysis. Okay, so somewhat here it gets origin and inserted in the posterior aspect of linea aspera. Okay, here it gets inserted. Okay, this is the upper 1/3 and this is middle 1/3 and this is the lower 1/3. Okay, it gets inserted in the middle 1/3 of linea aspera of shaft of femur. Okay, this is the pectineus muscle and this is the adductor longus muscle. We already see that origin and insertion of these muscles. And nerve supply is the anterior division of obturator nerve. Okay, obturator nerve. Pectineus muscle origin from the pectine pubis and insertion pectineal line. That is extending from the lesser trochanter. Okay, and nerve supply this is the hybrid muscle. Okay, why we call it as hybrid muscles means it gets its nerve supply from the two nerves, that is one from the femoral nerve and the other from the obturator nerve. Okay, and the vascular supply by the obturator artery. Vascular supply obturator artery. Okay, another thing you want to know that this opening is the obturator foramen. This obturator foramen is covered by the obturator membrane. Okay, this is the obturator foramen. This is covered by the obturator membrane. Okay, in the upper side we have opening. Okay, this is the obturator canal through which only obturator nerve and obturator artery coming out of the abdominal cavity. Okay, abdominal cavity or pelvic cavity and enter into the lower limb. and supply this medial compartment of thigh. Okay, this thing you want to know. And then next muscle is adductor longus. Adductor longus, origin external surface of pubic body. Pubic body just inferior to pubic crest and just lateral to pubic symphysis. Okay, and insertion middle 1/3 of linea aspera of shaft of femur. And nerve supply obturator nerve, anterior part of obturator nerve, anterior division of obturator nerve. And then vascular supply obturator artery. Okay, that's all about these muscles. And next muscle is the Gracilis muscle, which take its origin from the inferior ramus, just lateral to pubic symphysis, and insertion to the medial surface of upper end of tibia. Okay, and this tendon sandwich in between the sartorius tendon and semitendinosus. Okay, sartorius tendon in front and semitendinosus in behind. Okay, and this is called pes anserinus. Okay, pes anserinus. Okay, this is the Gracilis muscle. And then next muscle is the adductor brevis muscle, which gets its origin from the external surface of body of pubis and the inferior pubic ramus. Okay, from here, external surface of body of pubis and the inferior ramus. From here, it gets its origin and inserted to the linea aspera, this posterior surface and the linea aspera. Okay, that's all about the origin and the insertion of adductor brevis muscle. Like this, it gets origin from here, from the external surface of body of pubis and the inferior ramus. It gets origin like this and inserted to the upper 1/3 of linea aspera, and the posterior surface of proximal femur. Okay, like this, it's coming and inserted here. This is the adductor brevis muscle. Adductor brevis. And next muscle is the adductor magnus muscle. It has two parts. One is the adductor part and the hamstring part. Adductor part take its origin from the ischiopubic ramus, from here. Okay, ischiopubic ramus, and the hamstring part take its origin from the ischial tuberosity. For that you have to draw this. This is the posterior aspect. Okay, posterior aspect, iliac crest, and this is the posterior superior iliac spine. And this is acetabulum. Here we have ischial tuberosity. And this is the greater sciatic foramen. Greater sciatic foramen, and here we have lesser sciatic foramen. Okay, this is the ischial spine. This is ischial spine, and this is the ischial tuberosity. This is hip joint here, greater trochanter and lesser trochanter here. Okay, this is the ischial tuberosity. Ischial tuberosity is like that, like this. It has upper and lower part. Upper part has one oblique line. Oblique line like this, and here like that. Here only we have adductor part origin. Okay, from here. Okay, this is palpable. This area is palpable. Okay. Adductor Magnus muscle has two part, adductor part and hamstring part. Adductor part take its origin from the ischiopubic. From here it originated and inserted, this adductor part inserted to the posterior surface of proximal femur, and then linea aspera, and then medial supracondylar line. Okay, medial supracondylar line. But this hamstring part inserted to the adductor tubercle. Here we have adductor tubercle. This is the adductor tubercle. It gets inserted here. Okay, and also medial supracondylar line. Okay, from here it gets origin ischiopubic ramus and inserted to the proximal femur, posterior surface of proximal femur, linea aspera, and then medial supracondylar line. Okay, like that adductor part inserted. This is the adductor part, and hamstring part take its origin from here, ischial tuberosity. So it comes and originated in the, inserted in the adductor tubercle like that. Okay, adductor tubercle, and also medial supracondylar line also. And here we have one opening. This is the adductor hiatus. Okay, this is very important. Adductor hiatus. Okay, this is adductor brevis. This is the middle layer. Okay, middle layer, and adductor magnus is posterior layer, and the adductor longus and pectineus are anterior layer. Okay, actually anterior layer, middle layer and posterior layer we have. Okay, anterior layer muscles are gracilis and then adductor, longus and pectineus. Okay, pectineus, and middle layer is adductor brevis, and the posterior layer is adductor magnus. Okay, and adductor here is very important because femoral artery enter the lower limb through the gap between the inguinal ligament and the pubic bone. From that area it enter and it leaves the thigh through the adductor hiatus and enters the popliteal surface. Okay, I differentiated the adductor part and the hamstring part by these colors. This is the adductor part of Adductor Magnus muscle, and this is the hamstring part of Adductor Magnus muscle. And this hamstring part tendon is rounded and inserted to the adductor tubercle. Okay. And in adductor part also we have this gaps. This is the perforating gaps for perforating arteries enter from the anterior compartment and to the posterior compartment of the thigh. Okay. And another thing you want to know that all these muscles are supplied by the obturator nerve except the hamstring part of adductor magnus. This hamstring part of adductor magnus is supplied by the sciatic nerve. Okay, sciatic nerve, which is the largest nerve in our body. Okay, and you want to know that another thing that you consider this as the adductor brevis muscle. Okay, adductor brevis muscle. This adductor brevis muscle separate the obturator nerve into two divisions. This is the anterior division, and in the posterior side of adductor brevis we have posterior division. Okay, posterior division. This is the anterior division and posterior division. You want to remember this. Okay, obturator brevis muscle. In the front we have anterior division of obturator nerve, and in the posterior side of adductor brevis muscle we have posterior division of obturator nerve. Okay, this anterior division supplies the Gracilis muscle, and then adductor longus, Pectineus muscle, and then anterior division of adductor brevis. Okay, and this posterior division supplies the adductor magnus muscle. Okay, Posterior division supplies the adductor part of Adductor Magnus muscle. Okay. Gracilis origin inferior ramus, insertion pes and serenus, medial surface of tibia apparent. Nerve supply obturator nerve anterior division. Adductor brevis, origin external surface, body of pubis inferior ramus. Insertion upper 1/3 of linea aspera, posterior surface of proximal femur. And then nerve supply anterior division of obturator nerve and also posterior division of obturator nerve. And vascular supply obturator artery. Adductor part origin ischiopubic ramus. Adductor magnus, adductor part origin ischiopubic ramus. Insertion posterior surface of proximal femur. Middle 1/3 and upper 1/3 of linea aspera, medial supracondylar line. Nerve supply obturator nerve, posterior division. Okay, and vascular supply obturator artery. And then hamstring part origin ischial tuberosity, insertion adductor tubercle, nerve supply sciatic nerve, tibial part. Okay, that's all about this. If you have any doubt, you ask in the comment section, and subscribe our channel and motivate us, like and share our videos. Okay, thank you everyone.